Just load.
Like I said, you got any is there actually any audio playing in the background? Is there actually any audio playing in the background? Is there actually any audio playing in the background? Is there actually any audio playing in the background?
Yeah.
Testing. Game audio is playing? Alright, cool. Alright, Cody, I'm gonna host in 3, 2, uno.
Welcome, folks, to tonight's stream. We're going to be doing pre-made battle tests. These are builds that we had customized in different roles: damage, tank, and support. This is the build link.
Kelly, are you excited?
What made you decide to go try out this route? Just to see
Well,
how it plays out?
So, one of the reasons why we did this was because there was a point that was brought up where some people may not be too keen. Golada Gallows.
Galata Gallus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people may be too not keen and wanting to hop into something like that yet, but maybe just wanted to try it, but they didn't understand the team building aspect or what might be a meta build in that sense. So scrapping the meta part of it, we decided to make some RP-ish builds, some kind of quirky, out of the ordinary setups.
Right, just
Have some
that makes
fun,
sense.
but also give people
fun builds.
Yeah, give people a chance to try stuff out with the sense of if you have an Overwatch or League of Legends background, then it kind of is built towards that to a degree.
Alright. And my current goal for this is to try to playtest a couple characters, see how they run tonight. I'm going to use this one. And there's another one I'm supposed to use. This one.
Alright, folks. So, Drace and Weeman both getting their parties situated for the first game, which will be on Golgotha Gallows. You are watching in Drace's POV.
What's up, y'all? How the hell are you?
Crossbows.
Mm-hmm. Crossbows. Oh shit, I hope I picked the right guy.
Alright, and there's also the map pool for tonight's match. We are using role-based builds here, so we have a selection of, I believe it's 11 or 12 damage dealers. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 supports. That's right. I'd be a little off on that number. But either way, we have builds categorized to different roles so that ultimately you want to have a mix and match of setups. Obviously, your damage dealers are going to be the people that are going to be in charge of putting out as much damage as possible, taking down opponent units, while tanks are going to be there to absorb damage, typically provide utility, maybe even a little bit of damage depending on the tank, and supports are typically there to provide healing support that way. Alright, we're starting the game with, let's see, who started it? Wingman.
With the distractor. Okay, cool.
Wingman's distractor is going first, and let's see what's about to happen.
Why don't you explain, I guess, a little bit of what each class can do while it's their turn.
Okay. So distractor is basically the build is set up to be a dancer that could use debuffs on the enemy, while also she has the ability to have very high parry with her cloth, which gives her 50% parry rate. It's pretty decent. And she also has the ability to throw medical items to nearby allies in case they need healing or reviving or cleansing certain debuffs. We've switched over to Drace's turn on his Time Walker. Time Walker is a Time Samurai, if you will. That is using Time Magic's Eniyato, which is also known as Samurai skill. And Drace is going to start off with casting. And we're back to Wingman's Ninja. Shadow, as he's called. Shadow is known for not only his speed, but his dual wield capabilities, the ability to throw items, and as well as some pretty decent martial arts. He's also very evasive with reflexes, and has a pretty decent move.
And yeah, Cody, pretty much everybody has a little bit of different stuff. They all have, not everybody has the same thing, like Terry was saying earlier.
Right.
Wayman's going to advance his ninja towards the middle of the map. Alright, it's going to go through a Fuma Shuriken at Drace's Warden. And procs Nature's Wrath.
Oh.
Wow, that was some decent damage.
Surprisingly,
Yes, it was. For Geomancy. Okay, so it's already a good start.
What's he running right now?
Was that Hunter?
It's a Hunter. Yeah, it's Hunter's moving.
Yeah. So next we have Wingman's Hunter. He is our quote unquote archer build. He's pretty strong. He's got a pretty strong bow. He's got the ability to buff his power so that he can even do more damage with the bow. He also has the aim abilities, which takes a little bit turns to charge up, but if he's able to get it off, it does extra damage. So overall, he's a pretty versatile character. He's able to attack from range, able to get a lot of pick damage before he can get him pushed up on.
Is that everything you want to say about him? Okay. He's on Rams right now. Do you want to explain how our Rams is set up for this specific thing?
So Ramza in this build set, he is mixed support DPS. He is considered a DPS or damage dealer, but he also has a lot of support abilities through his metal command, which is his unique skill line. He also has darkness, which is from the Dark Knight skill line. He has three abilities, excuse me. He has the ability to deal damage with Sanguine Sword, which allows him to recover health. He has the ability to drain the opponent's magic points, which allows him to restore his magic points. And he also has Unholy Sacrifice, which is an AoE attack that does a good bit of damage and also does damage to him. So he's pretty versatile in general. He has the ability to buff himself and buff the party. Alright, we're switching over to Drace's Ramza. Alright, he's going to Shout, so that's a +1 to speed, 10 brave, 1 magic attack, and 1 physical attack.
Alright.
And then we're over to Drace's Guardian. Guardian is a tank. She's known for her Arts of War, which allow her to reduce the opponent's speed, power, magic stats, and speedcraft, which could potentially cause either Berserk to a target, Stall, which allows her to reduce the opponent's ability to act, and Insult, which I believe is, Insult's Berserk. Condemn, which allows her to potentially doom her opponent. Alright, now we're switching over to Drace's Paladin. Paladin is also a tank. He is a heal tank, if you want to call it that. He has the ability to also render certain armor pieces from the opponent, as well as able to cast white magics.
I will say this is what I don't like about the cast times so far. It's just I feel like when you use them, you have to play the waiting game a little longer.
You do. You typically, yeah. So you really want haste out and stuff as soon as you can.
Yeah, and initial haste does take a while to get through.
Mm-hmm.
So That's just my thoughts on that part.
It's like, thankfully, your Time Walker's stage is about to fire the next turn. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to plan around that.
Yep. Unfortunately, I can't do anything until that actually goes off.
Okay, here goes Drace's Time Walker's Seja. Hopefully that will haste majority of his party. And it seemed like it did. Everyone got hasted. Drace is currently at a good position with time and being able to act quickly. Up to Wingman's Distractor. Her dance hasn't procced just yet, so he's going to end the turn. And then we're back to Drace's Time Walker. Alright, here comes Purifying Breeze. This is going to apply Protect Shell to everyone affected. We'll be taking less damage. And we got a Katana break. We still got plenty of more Kiyomoris in stock. And Slow Dance is going off. Let's see how many land. 1, 2. Alright, 2 out of 5. A little low number there, but speed reduction is still nice, especially on Ramza. That kind of negates the shout, at least in that buff. And now we're over to Drace's Ramza. Ramza's going to advance forward. And is going to Sanguine Sword the Ninja. Alright, Ninja goes down. That's the first KO of the game. And now we're on to Wingman's Hunter. Ooh, that ignored elevation though. Ignore elevation allows Hunter to get to any position regardless of jump, or height rather, so he's able to get to any point as long as he can get in move range of it. So that is in a really interesting spot. It's just about untouchable with Drace's lineup.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Oh, good pick there. He's going to start attacking Drace's Time Walker support line. And then we're on to Drace's Guardian tank.
Okay.
Alright, Drace advances his Guardian forward.
Okay.
And I was going to end the turn, switching over to his Paladin. Hello, Mummin, how you doing? I got someone joined the Twitch chat.
Oh, my bad.
Feel free to talk, Cody. We need some banter in here. Jerry's just trying to throw out some random stuff. Heard, ain't got no banter.
All day, and I got some beers and.
I got the beers.
So yeah. Actually,
I forgot to put somebody with Iato or I guess Time Magic in my party.
You sound full of rage.
I'm to actually look at all the skills and everything and what everybody had. So
We got 3 people chatting here, Mummin, so I'm not too sure who you're referring to. Drace is advancing his Warden. He's able to potentially target. Okay. He's going to try to get a Tangle Vine on the Hunter. The stop did not
if
go
I get
off.
stopped, I'm gonna be mad.
I like the damage output on Warden though.
I do as well. I was curious to see how strong it actually was.
It's not shabby for pre-mades.
Like we've messed around with the Archer before. This is the first run with the Paladin, with my first run with the Guardian, and anybody's first run with Warden. So we're just trying to see how they play out.
Oh, I've a movement up. I could have. Oh well.
Alright, now we've switched over to Wingman's Ramza. He's going to go ahead and do a Sanguine Sword against Drace's Warden. Excuse me. Got names here, folks. Alright, Pretty decent damage against Protect. And then we're on to Wingman's Apothecary. Apothecary is a chemist that is rocking a gun and also is able to chuck items at nearby allies. He's going to go ahead and throw a Phoenix down on his ninja, bringing back Shadow. Let's see what other plays Apothecary is going to make. He's going to go and do a move, and looks like it's going to be it for that. Switching back over to Drace's Time Walker. And it's going to do a Rain of Wisdom. Might get a couple life proc here. We did.
The hell was that?
That's Cup of Life, which is what we were curious about.
Alright, so let's touch bases on Cup of Life. So Cup of Life is a reaction ability that requires the person to be overhealed. If they are overhealed, then they will heal an ally regardless of range, it seems to be, for the overhealed healing done. And it seems to be targeting the weakest HP ally when it goes off.
Okay. And I believe it does not target your
It does
actual
not.
character.
Yeah, you have to be healed from someone else for that to proc. Your own healing will not activate Cup of Life. Right, Drace is advancing his Guardian. He looks like he's going to try to down Shadow, and he goes down.
It's biting me. No.
And then we're over to Drace's Ramses. And he's going to do a very, regardless of vert, Sanguine Sword. Hunter should go down here. And he does. Alright, so far that's a 2 KO on Drace's turn at the moment. Drace's currently have field advantage. And now we're switching over to Paladin. Alright, Drace is going to end Paladin's turn. Now we're over to Wingman's Distractor. Slow Dance is activated. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that was a good RNG proc there.
And how does a slow dance work exactly from our knowledge so far?
So Slow Dance has a 50% chance to apply a 1 speed loss on each opponent, since dance affects all enemies on the field regardless of their position. So once the dance activates, it has a 50% chance to reduce each enemy character's speed by 1. And thankfully, the RNG was in Wingman's favor there, and he got 4 procs off of that 1 action. So that was a pretty good play there. We're over to Drace's Warden. He's gonna be pushing forward here.
Okay. It's probably not worth then. Yeah.
That is some range on that.
Yep. Actually, yeah, that's the way to go.
Alright, Drace is going to go in and try to do Tangle Vine on Ramza. Ramza has immunity to stop, so it's not going to stop him, but it's still doing decent damage and has a 100% hit rate that is unaffected by Ramza's parry. Parry allows him to increases evasion chance against certain attacks and abilities. Geomancy will always deal its damage, so that seems to be a pretty optimal choice in the situation. And we're back to Wingman's Distractor. He's going to end her turn, and we're back to Drace's Ramza.
Okay.
Decisions.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
Alright, looks like Ramza going to go into a Sanguine Sword against Wingman's Ramza. Ramza is in critical HP at this point. Probably can go down 1 more hit.
Yeah,
And
he
Drace is
did.
advancing as Ramza to basically close off Wingman's Ramza's options of movement.
Okay.
Alright, Drace is going to start casting. And that's the end of Time Walker's turn. And then we're back to Drace's Guardian tank. And Drace is going to attempt to do Insult, which has a chance to apply Berserk. The Berserk did not land on Apothecary, thankfully, in Wingman's favor. He's going to end Guardian's turn. And now we're back to Drace's Paladin. Looks like Drace's going to attempt to try to get a finishing blow on Ramza. If it'll land, he's got a 27% chance to land this attack if he does it. Are you going to risk it, or are you going to risk the biscuit?
Risk the biscuit.
Either way, Drace has Ramza shielded or locked in place, so I believe his movement options are nil at this point. Now over to Wingman's Ramza, who is in very critical HP condition. He doesn't. I'm assuming he does not have the ability to move at this point. He doesn't have enough move stat to be able to move out of the lock that Drace has his Ramza in. So he's pretty much forced out to make an action at this point. Alright, Unholy Sacrifice, good choice for an ability, knowing he's going to go down. Ramza kills himself. But he also did get 2 slows off, so that was also a pretty effective play.
I was banking on you actually trying to do that. However, I was hoping the slow wasn't actually going through. So.
Alright, Wingman decides to do a Phoenix Down on his Shadow, bringing Shadow back up with 6 HP. And now Time Walker's attempt to quick Drace's Ramza. It misses. I will get an instant action right now. And now it's Shadow's turn.
Oh shit, you're making the comeback.
I don't know how hard this guy can actually hit, so I don't know if this is actually going to kill you or not.
I guess we're about to find out.
You got parry.
He's got parry. You're going to use a martial arts skill instead? Or are you going to attempt to throw in his face?
The only martial arts skill that will have a 100% chance to hit me is going to be Shockwave. I don't remember if Shadow actually has that.
Shadow does not. He has Aura Blast. That's what it is. Okay. I thought we had it. He has Pummel, Doomfist, and Aura Blast.
Okay.
We're back to Wingman's Distractor. Oh, very nice play. Okay. Good play there, Wingman. He had the range to be able to, or the range and the height to be able to toss a Phoenix down to his high height Hunter. So he was able to get him back up.
Who has a turn?
He now has his turn. Hunter must get his vengeance right here.
Ooh!
Okay. A pretty good strike there. Hunter's not going down just yet. He's going to go and take down Drace's Ward instead with a nice critical hit on top of that. And that also helps Wingman's Hunter because the Warden was currently the only one that was able to hit him besides the Ramses, so that's going to make it easier for Hunter to stay alive. Ramses has the ability to get in position since his moves do not look at the vertical limit. So is that what Drace is about to do, or is he going to make another play? Guess we're about to find out.
One second, y'all.
1 second, folks. All right, right back, folks. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah, I guess. My bad. Okay. Not gonna lie, you got some good plays here, Cody. Okay.
The distractor. Let's talk distractor real quick. We're very questioning her validity. Excuse me. Can't speak today. But so far she seems to be doing pretty decent. She managed to get a few dance procs off. She managed to get his Hunter back up from interesting position, which has given Wingman a decent chance because Hunter hits pretty hard and he's in a really good spot. So a lot of moves just can't even hit him. Rams is probably his only real threat at this point. And Distractor's been able to kind of keep the group afloat. So far, not looking too bad. Anyway, let's shift going back here. We're over to Drace's Time Walker, who he's advancing back down to the ground. And this is like Time Walker is going to attack Shadow, and Shadow goes down. And now it is Guardian's turn. Alright, Guardian's going to attempt to do an insult. And it missed again. Sadly, could not get that Berserk off. RNG is not in Drace's favor at the moment. And now we're over to Distractor. Alright, Distractor moves. Her life font helps her restore health every time she makes at least one tile movement. So she's gaining some health back, taking her out of critical HP.
Really? Is Phoenix able to hit from here?
What's up?
Phoenix down can't hit my ninja from here.
Because of how the geometry of the map.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just like so far up and he's so far down that it can't throw.
The tile that.
Yep.
Yeah, you should have gone on either on the ramp or maybe to the further.
I was gonna go
edge.
down on the ramp, but I didn't want to get like too close. But yeah, oh well.
Yeah, that seems to be the problem ultimately. Is that's in the way. You end up throwing the Phoenix down at the floor. Okay, he's gonna go on and do another dance here. And now it's Hunter's turn. Hunter's still in critical HP, but he's able to still dish out some damage.
Really?
Alright, it's going for Time Walker. That was an 80% chance and it did miss.
Looks like RNG just might favor me now.
Alright, Jesus, that's favored me. Alright, shifting over to Wingman's Apothecary. Alright, he's going to attempt to do a Wind Slash, which could cause Disable. Disable did not go off. against Drace's Ramza. And now it's Ramza's turn.
Okay.
What Drace is going to do, he's got two pretty strong options here, potentially three, depending on how he's going to play this out.
Okay.
I think the timer's gonna run out.
Dang. You ran out yesterday when we were playing.
Yeah, it did. We had a 96 turn game.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we were. Yeah. The struggle was real on that one.
Okay. This is probably the safest option.
I miss my one shots, not lie.
Yeah, me too.
Alright. Grace's Rams is going to go in same way sword. Wingman's distractor taking her now.
Oh, that's right.
Wingman currently only has 2 more units on the board, 1 in critical condition and 1 pretty much at full health. Right. Drace is going to advance his Guardian. Alright, for a third time, he's going to attempt an insult. Berserk does go off, so that means that Wingman has now lost control of his Apothecary. The AI now controls him. And at this point, what will happen is when it's Apothecary's turn, he will primarily attack Drace's team. So, like, he can't control him, but he'll still attack the enemy. However, his attack is 1.5 times stronger. So he's going to hit a lot harder, but Wingman no longer has control of him. So that's going to be the main problem. Since he's support, that means he can't use him for supportive stuff like using Phoenix Downs or high potions or even using Geomancy. So that's going to really put Wingman in a tough spot at this point.
Oh lordy, what are we gonna do here?
Alright, over to Wingman's Hunter, still in critical condition.
Probably not gonna hit you. It just takes too long. Oh, this is not looking hot.
Alright, he's going to attempt to take damage on Paladin. Paladin blocks with a shield.
Get over
Damage
here.
none on that. Alright, Hunter is going to leave his high ground position. Time Walker is going to attempt to quick Ramza. It missed. So no instant action for Ramza, and now it's Ramza's turn. He's going to advance his Ramza forward. I'm assuming at this point he's going to try to get that Hunter down, and it looks exactly what's happening here. Hunter goes down. Wingman only has 1 more character, and that character is not under his control. At this point, it is Drace making full play. Basically just needs to get the Apothecary and take him down to 0. And that will be the end of game 1. Alright, haste has come to an end on all characters. It's Apothecary's turn. He is controlled by AI, not by Wingman. He's going to attempt to attack.
Oh wow.
192, pretty decent.
A lot harder than I thought it was gonna hit.
That's the power of Berserk.
And that was Berserk though, and that was also, but it was through Protect. So it is pretty strong.
Berserk like a 50% damage increase.
Yes, I believe so.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's a
And
1.5.
you know what the roughly the mitigation on Protect and Sheller?
Almost
Percentage-wise?
50%.
Should be 50. So that should be your
50.
normal.
Oh,
That's-
wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, Apothecary right now, he's honestly, he's probably hitting a little too hard as a support. I wanted
Yeah.
him to be I
He's
wanted
hitting
him to be
harder
a
than
damage
a
spec.
stinking archer.
Yes. Or you can. But with the benefit of a gun, which always has 100% hit. So yeah, he's a little overtuned in that sense of damage. He'll probably get a nerf here in the upcoming update. Alright, Drace has got the stalls, so Apothecary CTs went back to 0. For those who don't know what CT is, it basically is the gauge that increases to get to that character's turn, or so that character has a turn. And by him using stall, it's put Apothecary's potential turn coming up back to 0. So it's going to put Drace in a position where he's able to get more actions on his team. Ramsey goes and singling strikes Apothecary. He is in critical condition. And this should give Drace another action here from one of his characters. It's Time Walker's turn. Can he get the teleport? You're going to risk it, or we're going to do something else.
Yeah, fuck it.
Harry's going to risk it.
For the
Got the
biscuit.
teleport.
That was probably one of the luckiest fucking teleports.
Ooh, Apothecary showing that he's not going down yet.
15% chance to dodge. Give me it.
Apothecary is not going down yet. He's still berserk, but he was able to still dodge that, so that's pretty cool.
Going down without a fight.
Paladin's advancing. He does not have any ranged attacks, so at this point, Drace is going to go ahead and end his turn. Now it's up to Guardian. Guardian's getting behind, so evasion is going to go up to a pretty high number. He gets the hit, and Apothecary goes down. That is game 1, folks, to Drace.
Alright, GG, sir.
Not a fan of the dancer. I thought the dancer might be a little bit better in this. No, dancer's kind of trash.
I mean, to be fair,
You played her decent.
you probably had the best game she's had.
Yeah.
So
Oh, running the double items for support was great, but yeah.
Alright, so these guys are going to go ahead and get their rewards for winning the melee, and we're going to go back
Rewards
to
for the
the
worthy.
game 2.
Alright, get a host in 3, 2, 1.
Game 2 will be on Goland, once you guys are set up.
Initial thoughts, Scotty, on the pre-made builds.
I miss my one shots.
Yeah. Same.
It's not bad. It's definitely like I feel like you need to adjust the time limit and make it on like how many turns you get. It's a lot slower.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. We might have to go action limits at the time limit.
But I just don't like action limits because I just don't.
And I get that too. It's not
Go
bad.
on.
It definitely makes things a lot more interesting. And I mean, granted, you can make quite a few builds with the access to everything classes and whatnot. But
and these aren't set in stone. We're gonna try other things out.
right.
It's just
I will say that the chemist does probably need to be retweaked a little bit because he hits like a truck.
yeah, he does it pretty hard.
But it's interesting. I like the slower feel of it.
Yeah, there's some aspects of tactics that you actually see more of when you play in a slower game instead of having one shots.
Yeah. I mean, because when we're doing I have access to everything builds. It's just, it's a slaughter fest pretty much. I mean, granted, I've proven that like support can also do a thing with my chemist, but there's still some fun things you can do. But this makes it definitely a little bit more interesting. What summons do I have access to? I'm curious about that. I was a little iffy on picking that one.
Which build are we talking about?
The Black Mage.
Sorcerer?
Sorcerer. Yeah.
Sorcerer has access to Rama, Moogle, and Zodiark. So he's got Thunder, the ability to heal, and the strongest summon in the game. But Zodiark does have a long charge time. Yeah. But also Sorcerer is I would say probably the strongest magic user for sure. He's got really high MA, or she has really high MA. And she also has Thunder Rod, which is boosting her lightning damage even further. So if she can get those lightning offs, she's going to probably hit fairly hard. Like probably one to 2 shot, depending on, probably closer to 2 shot on most things.
Gotcha.
Sorry, it's taking me a second. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this.
Playing around, keeping some characters and changing others, see what happens. Yeah, to hell with it. This is all for fun anyway and play testing, so let's give it a whirl.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I miss Belfier.
But of course.
I mean, he was my favorite character before he was busted on the access to everything builds.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we're going to start game 2 on Golan. Golan is a mid-size map. It's got a pretty decent and awkward vertical center. So there's a chance to get really high up, and there's also a few spots in between.
For any
if we-
Final Fantasy 12 players, I'm getting ready to fight Yasmat now.
Heard about the Yasmat? Alright, we're going to start off with Wingman with a Time Walker.
Good lord, 10 turns to get this crap off. Just I did not stop right. I should have paid attention to the. Well, that'll do.
Alright, Time Walker's going to be preparing a cast for Haste, or Hastasia. And she's going to teleport out, going towards the middle center of the map. And ending turn. Alright, now we're switching over to Drace's Time Walker. And Drace is also going to prep his Hastasia. And slightly advance his Time Walker forward. And we're shifting over to Wingman's Hunter. Alright, Hunter advances to the upper point of the map, and he's going to go in and Percy's Bow. Percy's Bow Cleric, she's taking 224 on that hit. That's unbuffed, by the way. So he's already in a really good position there. Drace is going to focus his Hunter, which gives him one additional physical attack stat, ultimately buffing his damage when he's able to attack. And now we're switching over to Wayman's Ramza. Alright, Rams is going to advance towards the center of the map. And he's going to tailwind his Hunter, getting his Hunter more speed. Looks like Wingman's trying to really take advantage of Hunter's height and bow to get a lot of damage off here and give him as many turns as possible. Switching over to Wingman's Apothecary. And now we're over to Drace's Ramza.
I forgot I was casting Stega or whatever the heck you want.
That jump.
Rams was gonna miss that on that one.
Alright, Drace is going to chant to his Cleric, providing her healing, while Rams will take deals damage to himself from that. I should put Cleric back to near full, or if not full.
Mm. 50 points shy.
Alright. Drace is going to start charging up a cast. And now we're shifting over to Wingman's Ranger. Also interesting to note for crossbows, because I didn't really quite understand this at first, if a target is outside the the initial range. So if someone's like directly beside you, basically, just target a tile that is facing them in the red, even if it's further out. That will force the bolt to go forward and still deal damage to whoever's ever beside you.
And why don't you talk about the ranger?
Okay.
Well,
Yep. So Ranger is he's a he's a DPS. But he's also somewhat supportive. He has the ability to toss high potion, ether, or remedy. He's the only one that has access to remedy on items, which is used to cure a lot of status effects. He also, because he has a crossbow with Arts of War, which is the knight skill line, he's able to potentially break different pieces of armor at range, because Arts of War is dependent on the weapon's range itself. So he's able to potentially break stuff without having to be up close.
Oh, really? Kidding me? Hate my life.
Do you not have a red tile on that?
he's too far away.
One tile short.
One tile short. Okay.
Yeah. I thought I counted the tiles right. I miscounted.
Or miscounted tiles. We're switching over to Drace's Warden. Warden is he's a DPS that has ice magics and also using the power of geomancy to apply pretty decent damage and chance to apply status effects depending on the tile that Warden is standing on. Alright, he's going to just slowly shift his Warden back and in his turn. Switching over to Wingman's Time Walker. Stage is going out now. It's going to target one person. Ranger is hasted at this point. And now Drace's Earthen Wall, which is Golem, is activated. Golem is a summon that provides physical damage protection, or protection against physical attacks, equal to Cleric's health, or max health. And also, Drace's Time Walker is also going to go and get her stage out. So, Drace's Cleric, Ramza, and Warden are now a lot faster, so they should be able to get more actions out. Alright, shifting over to Wingman's Time Walker. Alright, Wingman's going to go and start casting. And also get behind the house. And he has his turn. Alright, now switching over to Drace's Time Walker. Alright, Drace's going to go in and Kiyomori his allies, so everyone should gain Protect Shell. It's going to reduce the damage they take from physical and magic attacks by 50%. And now it's Cody's Hunter. Hunter's in a really good spot to deal damage at this point, especially since he's armed with a bow. Bow allows him to basically arc his shots around certain areas, so at this point, Hunter can pretty much attack anyone from any angle, just about. Alright, Hunter is going to try to go after Drace's Hunter, and the attack miss. Adrenaline Rush did proc though, so Drace's Hunter is now faster. He gained 1 speed. Oh, Vigilance. Excuse me. Vigilance is, it's a double in his evasion until the end of his turn, so, well, of course it's now his turn, so that evasion rate has gone down. Alright, Drace's going to advance his Hunter up as well.
Pinch. That whiff. Love it.
Let's just gotta whiff it.
Whiff it for me, baby.
Alright, Hunter's gonna attack the Ranger, and Ranger blocks the head at 70% chance, so that missed as well. And now we're over to Wingman's Ranger. Ranger's in a decent spot, but he also has to be careful. He gets too far in enemy lines. He's probably going to be taking a lot of threat at this point. Or is Wingman going to try to get picks and then try to run out? Okay, he repositions his Hunter, or the Ranger, excuse me. Alright, Wingman's still plotting out his next move. Alright, Hunter's going to attack Drace's Hunter. Golem takes the damage, and Vigilance reactivates, allowing his Hunter to be double physically evasive until Hunter's next action. Now we're over to Drace's Ramza. Drace is going to advance against Wingman's Ranger. Swinging sword. Pretty decent damage. Adrenaline Rush did activate, so Ranger's speed goes up by 1. Should give him faster actions. And he is also hasted, so that's going to allow him to get his turn much sooner. And we're over to Drace's Warden. He's also going to be in position to attack Hunter. Or Ranger, excuse me. I get these names mixed up sometimes. Alright, it's gonna try to snowstorm the Hunter. Ranger. It didn't put silence on him, but it did put him in critical HP. And now we're over to Cleric. Alright, Claire's gonna start charging up. And now we're switching over to Wingman's Apothecary.
Oh wait.
And I'll hit the wrong button now. Alright, he's gonna attempt to Wind Blast the Hunter. Did not get the disable off.
Slow.
Or slow, excuse me. The stage is going out on Wingman's Time Walker. He's buffing at Ramza and Apothecaries with haste, so now they have faster action turns. And now Earthworm Wall's going out again. Drace is trying to keep his Golem shields up on his allies so that Hunter and Ranger both are going to lose effectiveness and damage. Alright, Wingman's going to advance his Ramza forward.
Oh, Ultima is kind of doo-doo.
Yeah, pretty much. With that kind of MA, it's not that great.
Alright, Wingman's going to Singling Sword, Drace's Ranger. Hunter. Oh yeah, he has Protect Shell on. I forgot. Alright, switching over to Wingman's Hunter.
Didn't ring. Hopefully. Oh, let's take a shot here. Huh?
Golem, yes, Golem Shield's still up. He also refreshed the last turn, so...
How did Sanguine Sword...
So Sanguine Sword isn't considered... It is physical damage, but it's like a special type of damage where Golem can activate on it.
I think Golem only... I think Golem
has like
protects through straight
physical hits.
attacks. Like just regular attacks.
Regular attacks and jump. No, and we know it didn't work on jump, or it does work on jump. I think it actually has to be like physical landing attacks. So yeah, bolts, arrows, normal attacks, jump. I guess polearm hits are still normal attacks.
Oh, wait. Oh my god. I really need to pay attention.
Talking. You thought you had like Kikamunji or something like
I
that.
thought
didn't
I
you?
had at least one. Yeah,
Damaging.
yeah, at least one damaging.
Yeah, she's strictly for support.
Hmm.
I mean, she can obviously like attack, but
Yeah, you're getting like 70 out of her if you do that.
you probably get less because I'm protected and shield. But then I also have Golem up still for a little bit more.
Yeah.
I probably have at least one more Golem.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be based off your max HP. So it should be still like 100 and so, 160, 150, something like that. Alright, Drace's Time Walker's turn.
Yeah, on larger maps, that earthen wall is actually kind of busted. The lack of ability damage,
Look up a life,
kind
pride.
of limited down to special characters.
Yeah, she wasn't full health. That's why.
It still should have because you.
It should have since it was overflowing, but
I just don't think you get the reaction. It's still like bravery based and shit.
Mhm.
'Cause you definitely put her over Hildebrand in the melt.
Yeah.
What do we want to do here? I know what I want to do here. I do not know what to do here because I'm not used to this build, and
Or lack of use.
you're earthen walled everything. So I mean,
So
pretty much GG at this point.
just to throw it out there in terms of just kind of throwing out like what you could do. Geomancy works still. That's not gonna work because it's attack. Vigilance is gonna reactivate. Sanguine Sword goes through it. So based off what you have left. So basically, Ramza is gonna be your main go-to. Your Apothecary's Geomancy should go through, even though it's not gonna do much damage. It's more just for the status.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like with the earthen wall up, I'm pretty boned on this one. That's okay.
Hmm.
Alright, Drace's Hunter went and got a critical strike against Wingman's Ranger. Ranger goes down. And he's going to go ahead and bail his Hunter out back to the rest of his group. And we're over to Rams's turn. Nothing saying the next turn. Alright, just gonna go ahead and Sanguine Sword Wingman's Apothecary, putting him in critical HP. And that was Cleric's turn. Alright, looks like the quick did go off, so Wingman's Hunter has his action back immediately.
Decisions, Cody.
Many a decision.
There's nothing I can really do at this point. You got earthen wall out the ass.
I don't know if I do. Oh, I still had it. Okay.
Oh yeah, you still have it till breaks.
I can't do anything. Like you literally kind of just shut me down. with earthen wall.
Mhm. Yeah, you basically are gonna have to double up to break the shield, and then
Yeah,
be able to
I mean,
act
with
in
his
between.
Ramza and his Archer running the same thing, there goes my fucking support.
Wait a
That's
minute, Apothecary's
GG.
going down. Or that is a GG. Not quite yet, sir. Game's not over
That's
yet.
definitely a GG. He's
Drace is
literally
gonna
just
hit
got
it and golem
an
again.
earthen wall and it's game over. That shit's fucking busted as hell.
I haven't even gotten the busted stuff yet. there was a couple. There was a couple ideas I was thinking about, but wasn't actually trying to do them on stream because it might have been too boring, essentially. But we'll need to playtest it at some point to see if it's actually decent.
Yeah, if there's not many characters that can't do much damage outside of auto attacks, Earthen Wall is just fucking OP.
Yeah.
Use the language. I didn't even realize that the cast time on that's fairly quick. So I mean, it's
Well, it's on a hasted swiftness character, so she's gonna have fast healing.
yeah,
Or
haste and
fast.
swift. I know.
It was like a couple life procced off that time, so Hunter got some healing there.
I think it might be the person that's closest in range. It might actually look at that.
Was he the weakest?
No,
Wasn't the weakest, okay.
technically these two should be weakest right now
Okay. Yeah, might.
because he had he was only missing like 64.
Okay.
Well, it only healed for 64.
Only heal for 64.
I don't know why it only healed for 64. She was full health.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured this map, archers would be really a pain in the ass. So might as well try to negate the archers the best I could. So that was my thought of bringing her, essentially.
Alright, back at the action here. Currently, Wingman has three more characters alive. Time Walker, Ramza, and Hunter. Drace has the field advantage at the moment. And Drace has went in and taken down Wingman's Ramza. Currently, Wingman's down to 2 more units in action. We're switching back to Cleric's turn.
Go ahead and talk about Cleric, since I don't think you've said anything about her so far.
Talked a little bit better.
Apologies, yo. We won the battle. Not intentionally. Didn't mean for that to happen.
So, Cleric is a full-born healer. She is probably the strongest support out of all supports in terms of, like, if you just want, like, healing and status recovery kind of deal. She also utilizes primarily 2 summons, Golem and Carbuncle. Golem is physical damage protection, which you guys have already noticed, or should have been seeing twice, at least by now. And Carbuncle is used to apply Reflect on nearby allies, which causes magic to go back to the caster.
Yes.
And I apologize. I gotta keep going on this, doing the goal.
I mean, it's more taking advantage of what your opponent's running as a comp. They are built to use physical attacks, and you have the ability to negate physical attacks. There's no reason not to continue to do it, so they can't really harm you while you try to stretch for the game. That's a pretty far range geomancy, I'm not gonna lie.
We are on stream right now. Lucas, upstairs.
Alright, celebrate the folks. Slow just going out. And
Warden my haste.
Warden has been affected by that, which is going to now remove her haste and is now on slow down and action turns. Alright, Wingman's going to advance his hunter and end this turn, switching over to his Time Walker. Time Walker's attack was blocked by Ramza. Alright, Drace's Time Walker's going to do it to Rain of Life, Rain of Wisdom, which is going to heal Cleric. He does not get a couple life proc from that. And I'm switching over to Drace's Ramza. Singing Sword's going out, doing quite a bit of damage to Wingman's Ranger. And Drace is going to start charging up cast ability, and it's going to be Moogle. Moogle was AoE healing to all of his allies. Enemies are unaffected by that since it's a summon. And switching over to Drace's Hunter. Hunter's going to take down Wingman's Hunter. At this point, Wingman only has one ally remaining. It's Time Walker. Warden's Ice Cast missed because there is no longer a target there. And we're switching over to Wingman's Time Walker. Last character he has up. He's going to go ahead and teleport behind Drace's Cleric.
See what you're doing, Cody. You just want to murder me.
Alright, it's going to try to MP reduce Cleric. And Eldris is going to advance his Time Walker behind the opposing Time Walker, but the teleportation failed, so he's not going to be able to move. He's going to end his turn. Switching over to Drace's Ramza. Alright, Unholy Sacrifice. And Time Walker goes down.
GG, sir. GG caught me.
Alright, game 2 is going to
Where
Drace.
you be?
I think Wingman is off the mic or something. Wingman there. He's not in the lobby. Okay. Let's see. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, he got, I don't know, he gets DC'd from the chat and he can't join because the live is technically full.
Okay. Can you not pull him?
I need him to be in the channel first before I can do that. Multi this window keeps spamming my window.
Terry's about to join back up. There we go. Okay.
What was happening there?
I don't know why my mic stopped picking up. A Multios window tabs just keep popping up on my other monitor now. Like I just had like 20 tabs I had to close out.
Did you turn a new device on? They had it on?
What are you talking about? No, it's like the actual like a Multios like home screen just keeps like popping up on my tabs. Like I keep closing them and they just keep popping back up.
So like the program keeps like popping up. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, not the actual like load booter, but it's like the website.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not too sure why that in particular is happening. I don't know what would cause that, or start opening the web page. um, I don't know if there's a button that, or like a button combo that somehow is opening up the web page.
Yeah.
But if you need to, maybe just close the emulator out and reboot it.
Okay.
That's probably all we're gonna
Yeah.
do tonight, though. Everybody.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody that tuned in. Appreciate you tuning in. Anything else?
So let's just do real quick thoughts here on the pre-made setup. Starting with Wingman. Wingman, any thoughts on anything outside of what we already discussed? Like Apothecary probably needs a damage reduction for mana support. Anything else you notice? Yay or nay? Kind of deal. Positive, negatives.
With what you played with so
What
far?
you used, yeah.
Yeah, with what I played with, I mean, I don't know, maybe a lot slower. I almost feel like some damage could be brought up, and like honestly, if you run, especially on like medium to large maps, I could definitely see where time ran out. Like if you run with two people running the what was it? The cleric? Yeah, if both people are running clerics and they don't have a lot of like damage outside of like regular auto
threats.
attacks, which yeah, I mean the game's never gonna end. I mean you can literally just spam the living dickens out of Earth and Wall. That's my only concern, but outside of that, I mean, and some of the supporty, I understand with the supporty classes and everything, but I don't know. It's slower. Me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I mean, I could see where like the one we've been playing could be scaled down some, but this is a lot more slower than my liking per se. But outside of that, it's very interesting, and you can definitely have some fun with it.
Yeah. Okay. I did that.
Well,
Trace?
we're investigating in the fun department, that's for sure.
Yeah, and
got a couple
that
ideas.
was my biggest concern. Is like the one version is fast and fun, and this one's like slow and more tactical, which is also fun. But it just depends on the person and what they like. Honestly, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I 100% how I feel with it. I'm gonna have to play around with some more of the classes and some class combos and whatnot on another playtest day.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm in the same boat with you. I prefer making my own characters. A lot of the stuff that we're doing in here, isn't necessarily to my normal play style.
Right.
So I'm actually having to dial back what I like doing to try
Right.
to.
And same
I
here.
guess.
I mean, you have your play style. I do like you can make characters a lot tankier, but with running like just 2 DPS and 3 supports, if you pair up teams right, you're almost unkillable in some regards.
Heard Overwatch?
But no, it's nice, and maybe change around where you can add some kind of custom ability where like I don't know how hard it'd be able to program it in there, but like certain classes like the white mage, as far as the secondary classes go, is a little customizable, but you're still limited to what side classes you can pick and like what skills those side classes have, if that makes any sense.
I mean, I could maybe see that form of customization, like changing the secondaries up.
Yeah, but no more than that. Like I like how it's limited and I don't have full access to everything, and I can just like infinite throw 99 chaos blades or whatever it was before.
Yeah, pretty much.
So speaking of that, how do you feel it was to just kind of dive into this and I guess play against me, who I've only done like a couple tests, but
Seeing that I didn't really pay much attention to the equipment or like what skills I actually had, it was not it wasn't the most enjoyable, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, I just kind of short stick myself moving my character here, but I mean, I like it. I just wish I took a little bit more time and like checked out what actually I had available to my character.
right. But if you did do that, do you think it would be? I guess would the learning curve seem less with this kind of setup?
Um,
What form of learning
if
curve are
you're
you
talking about transitioning from this to the old one we've been playing, I guess somewhat on the basics, but seeing how like, especially on the old one we've been playing, spellcasting's kind of null and void.
Right.
I could see where that could mess some people up potentially.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I mean, the one we've been playing, the meta on that or the settings on that is subject to change as well. I think if you were trying to get a little bit more of an intro level, I would also possibly allow the equipment to be played around with, maybe on just a minor level, not full access, of course. But outside of that, I mean, it gives you a good feel of like the basics of the game. Yes, I'll give you that.
Okay.
If you're just looking at this, I mean, you got a good, healthy pool of different equipment for different characters and different abilities and passives and everything from that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would say it's a good intro.
Okay.
Get a grasp of it. Yes. Sorry if I'm being too long-winded.
No, you're good. I'd actually prefer it. So last two questions.
Okay.
What is a positive about this setup?
This setup.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Hold that thought,
Okay.
real quick.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Go ahead. Yeah. Tell me what your thoughts are on this
On a
specifically.
positive note, it lets you explore a lot of the different classes that are available.
Yeah.
You get to play around. I mean, I played my archer and chemist duo. Granted, my chemist didn't really get to do a whole lot, but like, for instance, my dancer support or my distractor, I suppose, actually did. I was quite impressed with how she played in that first game.
Mhm.
It lets you explore. I mean, see how throw items works. The archer range with height. I mean, it lets you explore all that. I actually meant to play around with the sentinel. She looked interesting with her high HP thresh pool. I don't know what kind of Iato abilities she has, but and the mirror mail. That's interesting.
So she is pretty much, think of the Time Walker, but instead of having access to time magic, she has Kiyomori, Murasame, and I don't remember if she has Asafune.
Is it the same? Is it the same pretty much as the Time Walker, as far as the Iato abilities?
She has Ashura as well, which is the lowest damaging ability.
Okay. I would say, like, well, I will get to that. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wait,
So you
is
could
that
technically
when like
What?
cross shape, like horizontal and vertical? The low damage one you're talking about, the Ashura or whatever one it is.
it's the same range
Or is
as
it,
like
like-
Unholy Sacrifice from Ramza,
Oh,
the Dark
okay.
Knight
I was
skill.
gonna say, like, my only advice there would be like, to if you're doing this as like an intro thing to get people like to help understand it, I would like maybe add in one of if there is a weaker version of like the
There's
long
not.
textile one. No, okay,
There's
never
not.
mind
The
then.
only thing is Kikamunji and Shockwave, which is a monk
Gotcha.
skill.
Right,
and those
right. Yeah, I mean,
the
yeah, that's
8
close
tile
enough.
things. Yeah. Which
Um,
Bouncer, who's the only monk we have currently,
I bet.
is the only one that has access to that. But I mean, it's still
Okay.
a good ability.
Oh
Does
yeah,
decent
yeah, it's
damage.
definitely- it's a nice runner-up to the Iato abilities that have the really long horizontal and vertical range.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay, so that's a good pro. Now one con about this. What
One
would you like to
con?
see, or what would you like to see changed?
Not sure exactly. I mean, it's a lot slower than what I'm accustomed to. I don't know where like a happy balance would be.
Yeah.
Finding balance is going to be a difficult task. I mean,
yeah.
honestly, I don't think it's too underbalanced.
No, I
Honestly.
don't. I wouldn't say it's underbalanced by any means. Just the contrast between the two.
Yeah, it's definitely more fast paced and
Yeah.
trying to one shot a character as fast as possible.
With this
So-
one, with it being pre-made builds, the only con I would have with it is the lack of like customability. I'm not saying I want full range on like all of the subclasses and the main classes on what skills they have, and full range on all equipment and accessories, but maybe a little bit more like maybe have like 2 or 3 accessories I can pick from. Same with armor and weapons and whatnot. But outside of that, I don't see a lot of issues. It's definitely nice, like little intro level. Like, okay, I haven't played like, for instance, if you haven't played tactics before, you want to get into the competitive scene like right from the get go. I think this is fantastic. It's a little bit slower, lets you get a good feel for it, movement. You got the teleports in there, you got the ignore height, whatnot. So I mean, people still get to play around and be like, oh, okay, this actually works well with this, and or this doesn't work well with that kind of deal.
Okay. So probably the biggest or let me try to just to make sure I got
Yeah,
everything
so I
right.
might not be giving you guys the best analysis either. It's
No,
just
no, you're good.
how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's fine. To reiterate and try to make it kind of easy to understand, the pro would probably be, I guess, ease of access, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and the con would be lack of customization.
Yes. Yeah.
that-
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of how I was feeling as well. Would you agree?
So I'm half and half on that. So basically, where I stand at with this is, if you're gonna have pre-made sets, then there really shouldn't be much customization outside of that, because
Yeah.
you're potentially
makes sense.
changing out what was already pre-made.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool to have customization. I mean, I'm all for customization. I prefer the normal route of customizing my team to what I want them to be, versus being limited to certain select pools. But I feel like if you want people to get into something, and you have a preset amount. So let's just talk like Pokemon, for example. Pokemon has the ability of providing rental teams, which are full teams of 6 that are different Pokemon in nature, and you can literally select a rent team, pick it, and then go straight into online and use that rent team. You don't really need to know much about it, but you can use it straight off the bat. Of course, the more knowledgeable you are at the game that you are with Pokemon and like abilities, stuff like that, the better off you'll be with the rent team. But you can also take a rent team and just like, you know what, I want to just kind of see how this is. I'll just take this guy's team. I don't know what I'm really doing. Let me just see how this works. And that's kind of more or less where this whole build thing came in. If there was customization, I feel like if we do that, like, we're gonna have to potentially go back and redo the builds and actually have to do them by equipment, which is kind of what we did. But
And
we're doing stat looks and stuff like that. But we'd have to really build it by equipment that time around.
Yeah.
They provide very
Might be a
limited
little
options.
biased too, just the fact that I
What's that?
wasn't quite sure what I was getting myself into starting off, since I just downloaded this and kind of hopped straight into it. So
Understandable.
Um,
But it's still fun to have an opinion on it too, especially since you did see
Oh,
some of
yeah.
it.
And you've
Right.
played you played the other way we've played, so
right,
Where-
yeah, I was
where it's
definitely a lot
more
more used to that. I thought it was.
free
I didn't.
range access to a lot of things.
I figured the pre-builds would be a little bit slower, but that was a lot slower than
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah, so-
imagining.
Yeah, so like basically the biggest difference between like playing with like the level 75 on everything unlocked builds or unlocked team versus this is that magics become more feasible because the gameplay goes slower.
That is
So that's one
another
good thing.
pro. I forgot to mention that the fact that you can actually use magics in this is one big pro.
Okay.
Since like Sanguine Sword and all that's not one shots, or I can throw Chaos Blades across the map like 8 tiles or whatever my movement is, and
Mhm.
potentially one shot somebody unless they're running Mana Shield. Not gonna get into
Yeah.
all that, but
That's what you're saying.
yeah, I did really enjoy the fact that you can use magics. I should have played around a little bit more with that. What is the typical cast range on like magics? That five spaces?
3 or 4.
You're talking about just from
Yeah,
the
like
character
white magic,
to
black magic, time magic. Yeah, from
Somewhere
the
around
caster.
there.
To
Yeah.
Forget.
somewhere around there.
4.
4. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
It
think
is nice.
that's most.
Um.
Flare has a 5 range. Toad has a 3 range. Certain things have
actually-
different. So
I was thinking about playing around with that too, and they passed my mind. Should have switched my characters up a little bit more.
It's okay. Well, you're probably more accustomed to the other way too, which would also set you up to like run a certain way. Like Hunter would be your Balthier in this case.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're probably trying to build a little bit more towards what
Especially
you're
on that
used to.
first map on top of the guillotine, I was like, yes, I'm gonna reign supreme from the sky.
That was pretty good play though,
Mhm.
positionally.
because that place isn't actually obvious at first glance, because you have to actually sit on it and wait for it to
I
go
will
up.
say, yeah, anybody that's still listening, if you're ever in that kind of situation where you can actually go the tile underneath, like in the first game where my archer was up top of the guillotine, but you could also stand beneath it, you need to actually just wait. If the cursor's on the bottom and you're trying to get up top and it's available, the cursor will bounce slowly between the top tile and the bottom tile until you select one. So you gotta be wary of that.
Oh yeah, yeah, man, I'm getting the wrong tile.
Yeah, you can't like select if you want the bottom or top. You actually have to wait for the cursor to move up and down.
Okay, yeah, that's what you're saying. Gotcha.
It was nice to see some geomancy play there too. I don't think we actually got to see any status effects from the geomancy skills, but it
For the
was
most part, no. It was good to see that like Warden's Geomancer was actually decent because I was kind of worried about Warden in general.
It was very nice. I enjoyed that. I am really saddened in this one that with the timers, I almost wish when they made the game they just took out the whole swiftness thing and either like reduced the spell damage and made spells instant cast, or if they just made the time a little bit shorter and also threw away the swiftness, like 3 or 4 turns. But I
You're talking about
understand why they
spell
did that, because there's some AoE spells. Yeah,
Okay.
because like in the other format, they really are. The spells are just
Yeah,
null and void.
It's too hard to get spelled. Like
Yeah.
for Golem and like a few other things are probably remotely
Yeah, I mean,
useful.
like
That's it.
outside of like Golem's like really the only thing runnable, which is a great support. Actually, that would be an interesting. Sorry, I'm not trying to deviate from this, but running a alchemist with summon magic would be interesting. Running an earthen wall.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because that's based off of the caster's max HP.
okay.
The higher your max, the bigger the shield.
Right. Okay. Would actually be better on like a 602. What is that class? The Sentinel. something like that. That would
Yeah,
be
something like
big.
that. Yeah, ideally, yeah. Hmm. But that's also why it's not on Sentinel or Paladin, because they have so much health that if you golem, like, all your team would be able to suck up a lot of physical damage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, and granted, as everyone else saw, like Sanguine Shield or I wonder if Balthier's Barrage would go through it.
I don't believe. I think it still absorbs because it's considered a physical attack because you're
Yeah.
still because it's
Oh,
projectiles.
any form of physical, so like jump and everything would also be
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, jump,
absorbed.
barrage, attack, but not sanguine and stuff because those are
right
like
because it's
special.
not technically physical damage. Yeah, it's special damage or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I think golem would actually absorb barrage, at least down to the point where the shield breaks.
Mhm.
I was really heartbroken when my ranger did not have rend weapon. That was
Yeah.
gonna be the only thing that saved my ass.
It wouldn't have worked. If you're talking about trying to rend Ramza.
No, just in
Uh,
general. Like I was actually gunning for your archer just to make
Oh,
your
okay. Yeah.
secondary DPS, so I actually had somewhat of a fighting chance.
Okay, I
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, the FYI, both Ramza and Delita have safeguard on, so that they cannot be broken.
Oh yeah,
'Cause-
yeah.
Because they're both. The idea behind both of them is essentially to be like a holy and a dark knight. One's a support, a DPS support, which is Ramza, and then
Right.
Delita is more of a tank DPS. So kind of
Yeah,
the
I
two.
was looking at the numbers on him. He's got a little bit more health, but he's a little bit lower on attack and magic. But he's got higher bravery
Yeah, he does have a higher bravery.
and a
Yep.
lower faith.
Yeah, which is the reason why his PA is weaker because he was actually doing just as it was hitting just as hard as Ramsel was initially. I had to nerf him to bring his numbers down because it's too high up for a tank. I know.
Oh, that's fair. That's
So
fair.
that's why his PA is
Oh,
lower
I
now.
guess the Holy Sword is pretty strong.
Yeah, those
Well, he's only
abilities are
got
based
two.
off bravery too.
He's only got 2 skills though.
Oh, okay.
He's only got Judgment Blade and North Swain Strike. So Judgment Blade, which ignores vertical on the base skill, but it has a 0 vert on the radius, but it's only 2, a range of 2,
Oh,
but it has a
okay.
chance to inflict stop.
Gotcha.
While North Swain Strike does the same amount of damage, and it has a range of 3, but it can only, its range is only 1 vertical, and it will only hit 1 person, but it
Okay.
has a chance to KO.
Right.
So it's like,
You don't really see the status effects go off that often. I was surprised
Correct.
that my Ramza got a double hit on slow out of those 3 hits when I did the Unholy Sacrifice.
Yeah, that was actually that doesn't happen often. Ability
No.
like status abilities off of effects or weapons don't proc
Yeah.
often.
I mean, I wasn't complaining. It was just it was a pleasant surprise.
Oh yeah, I wasn't expecting a double slow either. But is that pretty much it, folks?
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, well, thank you, Dre Sweeman, for having a match and a little discussion here. Thank you all that are in the stream right now for watching the match. That was our first pre-made builds battle test. So we made 24 specialized builds, all role-based and either damage, tank, or support. And basically, like, kind of taking a little bit from like role-based games like Overwatch or League of Legends. You would need to build a team composition of a mixture of those roles to battle your opponent. But also, and here map matters, so the maps also kind of dictate how certain compositions would do better and stuff like that. There's a lot of variability there. Anyways, Drace came out the victor there, winning the first two games of the best of 3 match, and that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for tuning in. That'll be the end of the stream. Everyone have a nice night. Catch you guys later.
Toodaloos, everybody.
Toodaloo.